Today I'm driving the Volvo 9700 HD, built in Carrus in Finland. And this have the B13 engine with 500 horsepower. Today I will test drive this beautiful vehicle in the background, the Volvo 9700 HD from Trondheim in Norway, over the mountain, through the valleys, out to the fjords of Norway in Ålesund. The sun is shining, the autumn colors are on the leaves, and I cannot wait to show you the beautiful coach, but also our beautiful nature. Welcome to Norway, this is Volvo 9700 HD. Welcome on board the Volvo 9700 HD, built in Finland, Carrus factory. And you know, this is probably my favorite coach upon times. And now, 2024, I am driving a brand new coach with the new dashboard from Volvo. You have great flexibility. Look how much I can turn and adjust the steering wheel. And if this is not enough, I just release the pressure of my left foot and I can even tilt the steering wheel for the perfect fit. Oh. And it also makes me very happy to see that this bus have only been rolling 1,042 kilometers right now. You don't get a much fresher bus than this, but I saw it when it was even newer because I saw it before it even left the factory building in Finland. So this is a very proud moment for me. I saw this coach on the factory and I've been liking these coaches for so long. And now I will take it from Trondheim to Ålesund. Start the engine, release the handbrake, and let's go. It's almost hard to describe how much I love sitting here right now. It's so quiet here, I don't even hear the engine. And the driver comfort of this vehicle is extremely high. It's a premium feel to the whole building of this coach. This Volvo is 14 meters long and it has the B13R engine with 500 strong horsepowers. And I'm saying strong because I've been driving Volvo for all my professional bus career, and this one has an acceleration that is fantastic. When I start to drive, it gives me power, it gives me response, and it makes me feel in control of a powerful vehicle. And I was recently in Lofoten driving a similar coach like this. I had 60 people on board, much higher seat numbers than this coach, and I had a lot of luggage, and still I didn't feel the lack of power when coming into steep hills. That really amazed me. But here we cannot have 60 people on board because here we only have 53 seats on 14 meters. And here you will have plenty of space for each passenger. It's a very good seating comfort here. It's a level 3 seat from Volvo, and you can charge your phone in the seats. And I think 53 seats on 14 meters is a brilliant capacity inside of a coach. Of course, I also understand the operator's perspective that they want more seats on board because they of course want to make the money, they want to have the bigger group. But for me as a passenger, there is no doubt what I want to choose. And if you need more seats than this, I really hope that you're not going to use the coach for long distance travels. Then it's okay for shuttles, for hotel transfer or something, but then I would recommend you to go with a back door, not the middle door like here, but with a back door, because then you will get a huge amount of luggage capacity, and that will also help you if you will fill up your coach with so many people. Because imagine having 60 people in a coach, you might get big problems if you don't have enough luggage space. So for me, 53 people on board a coach, brilliant capacity. Carrus have built buses for 90 years and they are coming in to their first hundreds. And the building structure has been quite similar the last, well, at least 30-40 years. If I look at the A-pole here, if I look at the windows here, at the structure, it has this little curve on top. It's the same. And why didn't they change? Well, because it works. The Finnish factory is an extremely flexible factory. You can order your coach exactly how you want it, and this is why Carrus is such a strong brand in the Scandinavian market. They also sell coaches to the European market, but in Scandinavia they have their biggest market share. The driver space is huge and you can order this as big as you want to. You have enough space behind you, and the entrance here in this coach is so wide, it's so nice. Now they took away the refrigerator in the front, and that widened up the entrance a lot. And the wide entrance also make a great seating for the guide. And I've been driving coach for several years now, and many times I'm feeling so bad for the poor guide because there is no space for him or her to sit. But here you have plenty of space with the wide entrance door. But still, I think there is possibilities to improve the guide seat. Where should the guide put the water bottle without it floating around? And where should the guide leave the bag, for example? So there is always improvements to be made, but here you at least have a very comfortable seat, just like you have back in the coach. The driving of this Carrus is just amazing. I feel so comfortable in my seat, and it didn't take long for me to feel comfortable behind the steering wheel. It's so easy to adjust the steering wheel, and the mirrors are where I want them. Nice side window, I see everything I need, big front window. And knowing that you're driving a coach with a big glass roof just makes the passenger happy, which will give you a much more satisfying workday. And even if Carrus have built coaches for 20 years, there are things that is new. For example, we do have the B13 engine from Volvo with 500 powerful horsepowers, and the new generation of I-Shift still have the same good old handle. I love it, never change that, please. And we also have the new dashboard. The new steering wheel, multifunction, menu buttons to the right, you have cruise control to your left, radio controller for the driver on the steering wheel to the left, and if you want to change any sound in the compartment of the bus, you need to do that from the dashboard. And Volvo had a lot of problems with exactly this, the sound and the infotainment system. If you took up the microphone and tried to say something, you were almost guaranteed it not working. The wireless microphone didn't work, the regular microphone didn't work, and you tried to fix everything with the old system. Nothing worked. I think we do have some customers that have experienced exactly these problems. But now there is a new system here, so I really hope that it's a lot better. Digital instruments, speedometer in the middle takes almost the whole screen as a big nice circle. Under there you will have the RPM meter, where it also shows you the gear you're in. You can see the fuel tanks. Now also the AdBlue is in the screen, and I love it. Before you had to go into the menu, click to the meters, go 4 or 5 clicks up, and then you saw the AdBlue. And another thing I like with the new dashboard is now you can see the speed you're setting your cruise control for. You didn't do that before, so now you have full control with a digital display. And you can also see how long you have been driving from your tachograph and also the consumption right now. And apparently this engine should use like 9% less of fuel. And Volvo has been a very expensive coach to drive in the past. In the old generation with the B11 engine, I was normally about 3.1, 3.2, but now it's supposed to be even lower. I know that people are driving it all down to 2.5, 2.6 now, but right now it's only on 3.1, but we just started. This might develop. I hope I will remember this when I come to Ålesund to check the numbers of the consumption. But my problem when I'm driving tests like this, I can never measure the consumption perfectly because I'm starting and stopping all the time, taking the photos and making it as beautiful as possible. And one improved thing on this driveline from Volvo is the suspension. Before, the suspension was very soft. The risk for you to hit the front part of the vehicle in the ground was quite high. Now, it's a much better suspension system, and the humps in the road is very easily taken. And the steering wheel is following your movements. It's not many coaches I go into that is so adaptable as this vehicle. But one thing I have to criticize for Volvo. After implementing the B13 engine, they also changed the whole new dashboard, which I like a lot. But the retarder has one thing I really don't enjoy. Now I'm having the retarder in my natural position, which is called 0. And now if I release my throttle, nothing happens before the engine idle when I had the retarder in the 0 position. Now I have to lift it up one more step to A, and then when I release the throttle, it goes into idle. Which means if I want to have the first step of the retarder, I have to not take it 1, but I have to take it 2 steps down. And I don't want to stress with that while driving. So now I don't use the idling anymore. So now I'm only setting it into 0, and I only use the moving energy from the vehicle, not the idling, so I get even more energy from the vehicle. It's a wonderful experience being on top of Dovrefjell here in Norway, looking at this beautiful scenery. Everything is orange, the river is ice blue, and the coach is just a pleasure and a joy to drive. Now we are down in the valley of Romsdalen, and this is between Dombås and Åndalsnes. And as you can see, the scenery here is absolutely breathtaking. And very soon we will come to one of the most famous places in Norway, Trollstigen, but we will not drive it because they closed it down this summer. It was some stone coming down from the mountain and it was not safe to keep it open. But one thing I've noticed, I've only been bragging about this bus so far, but when I was driving downhill from Dovrefjell and down here to Romsdalen, I have noticed things that I'm not satisfied with. When you drove downhill in the B11 engine or even in the B12 in the earlier days, you could push the button on the end of the retarder handle and then the bus would keep the speed you were currently in. The function is still here, but it's a mess to get to it. First of all, you have to take the retarder handle all the way up to the A. And I said earlier that I don't want to use that too much because then I have to do 2 steps when I'm going down to get any brake effect of the retarder. So after putting the retarder handle into A, I then have to push the steering wheel. Here there is a symbol of a bus in a downhill with this speedometer sign on it. If I push that button, then I can after push the plus button, and then I'm ready to use this braking function. I don't deal with all this pushing, then I just use the retarder handle and I will keep the speed manually. I don't care about this solution. So Volvo, why did you make this easy function so much worse? Because it's completely unnecessary. But one thing I'm really satisfied with. Here we have the old air condition controller. It makes it so easy and nice to control all the air condition in the vehicle. This is just turn, done. Nothing more to think of. I want to take you outside so we can have a look at this 20-year-old design. This is the classic version of the Carrus, but we need to take a look of its beauty. Since Tom is not here today, I will do a little short Magnus tech talk. Not as good as Tom can make, of course, but I will at least show you some of the feature of this Volvo 9700 HD from Carrus. As you can see here in the front, nothing big have changed since the release of this bus in about 2005 when they got these kind of headlights. And it looks still so beautiful and so modern. And this demo coach has got some special tape on it, so it looks even more cool. And this is how easy it is to open up the front. And here you have great access to change the light bulbs, and you also have a spare tire under here. Well, you probably will not change it yourself, but it works very well as a front collision guard. The entrance of this Volvo is very wide and big, just like mentioned while driving. And when I'm a coach driver, many people have problems to enter coaches. They're too narrow and they don't know where to put their stock or whatever they are using, and they are taking too long to come in and out. Here, it's no obstacle for the passenger to enter or exit the coach. You can refuel this coach from both sides. You have one here on the right side above the first axle, and you also have a filling point on the other side. And look here, we have the manual luggage compartment. Just open it up and you will have big space for your luggage. And on the other side, it's even better. The back door is very standard, just like we're used to on almost all kind of coaches. It's always a bit narrow, but you need to have it like this. It's the typical specification of a coach door. And behind the door there is also a hatch, and there you can choose to store your personal belongings or maybe a vacuum cleaner. But I prefer to have the vacuum cleaner above the third axle, because when you open the back door you see that the door is blocking the hatch where potentially the vacuum cleaner can be. And when I am vacuum cleaning, I like to enter in the back door, because there it is normally a power outlet, and then I can have a long cable so I can take it back and forth without changing the outlet for the vacuum cleaner. So above my third axle is where I like to have the vacuum cleaner. After the third axle we have a technical room, and here we can for example find the sparrows the Webasto. And here we have it, an almost unused B13R engine from Volvo, 500 horsepower, and look, it's so clean. All the filters are intact, all the fluids are where they should be. The refilling for the engine oil is down here, the coolant is up here. I wish an engine can always look like this. And a feature on this vehicle is that we don't have the Volvo logo that we have normally on the back part of the bus. Here we only have the text all the way in the back behind the third axle on the driver's side. We have the refueling place for the AdBlue. So when I'm done filling diesel, I normally go behind. I will open the AdBlue hatch and then I will drive and I see in the mirror and then I will know when I'm at the pump. Maybe you didn't try that. Good tip for you. And again, above the third axle on the driver's side, we have the refueling for the water for the toilet. We also have the automatic fire extinguisher system. And now, look at this big luggage compartment. This is exactly how I like to see a luggage compartment. And if you would have the back door on this bus instead of the middle door, then you would have this luggage compartment all the way through on both sides. That's my preferred choice. Back door, not a middle door. And I forgot to mention that here in the front, we have the refilling point for the front screen window washer liquid. I never remember what that's called. Somebody of you have to learn me the word. So that was all from my little walk around on the coach. Now I will continue driving to Ålesund. To summarize this vehicle, I'm almost out of words. I think the design is still one of the most beautiful designs on the European coach market. And that is quite crazy because it's now about 20 years since we saw this facelift for the first time, at least with the headlights. There has been some new lines and some new details, but the general design of this coach was alive for the first time for about 20 years ago, and still it keeps itself very modern and up to date. Carrus makes a lot of interesting vehicles. They can do vehicles all the way from 10.9 meters to 15 meters, and they do the H and the HD version, and now they also do the DD version, both for the European and the UK right-hand drive market. And next year, Carrus will have an even bigger order from the order book. And a lot of the vehicles they will produce next year is the double-decker to the UK and the European markets. They still have the single decks like this. They will do some ambulance buses for Norway. They're also building some military buses, I've heard some rumors about. And I hope Carrus will never ever stop making these coaches. They are beautiful. They're great to drive. They are enjoyable for the passenger. You have the theater floor, so everywhere you sit, you will have great overview to the front. It's a reason why I love this coach. It's versatile, it's beautiful, it's comfortable, and it's very nice to operate, be a passenger in, and just to look at. But I don't think we will see the Carrus with this design for the rest of our lives. I think there is some changes coming up very soon. So I'm so excited to see how that will be. I am arriving Ålesund in a great weather, and look at this sunset kind of feeling. And this is one of my favorite cities in Norway. So if you haven't been to Ålesund yet, you should absolutely go. When even the princess chooses to stay here to marry this shaman, then everyone can come, that's for sure. And I need to tell you that on this trip, with start and stop and 2,000 photo shoots, I have only used 2.4 liters, and that's very, very good. Darkness has arrived to Ålesund, and we have parked the coach after the perfect day on the road. More than 400 kilometers has been driven since Trondheim. It's such a lovely coach to drive, and I will truly miss it now when I deliver it over to the next customer that will try it. And thank you so much for watching this video here today. And if you like what you see, click down here. The button is called subscribe, and then you will see all the future videos from us in Bussmagasinet. Until next time, drive safely. Have a great day.